Hi, I'm Lowell Martin and this is MCC Today. You're going to want to watch this one. On today's show we have Caleb Clearman, Jay Fritts, and Jimmy Rigdon. You're going to learn a lot. Stay tuned.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here today with Mr. Caleb Clearman. Hi, Caleb.
Hey, Martin.
Caleb was gracious enough to agree to be on the show. Technically speaking, I think I forced him to be on the show because Caleb is a tutor in our Student Success Center here at MCC, and you've been a tutor for at least a year now, I think, haven't you?
A year, yep.
Okay. Now, Caleb, you are about to go into your second year here at Meridian Community College. How's everything going for you?
It's going great. All the people, I met new friends. It's been interesting. The teachers are really committed to your success.
Okay. Great answer, and
Yes.
one that I wholeheartedly approve
Yes.
of. Now, you previously, before you came here, you went to West Lauderdale.
I did.
You graduated from West Lauderdale, but you took a few classes before you graduated.
I did.
What classes did you take?
I took dual enrollment for college algebra and college trig.
Okay. How did that go?
100s. Went great. It was pretty easy.
Which is why he is a math tutor in the Student Success Center. But you took those two classes. You didn't have any trouble with them. Were they offered at West Lauderdale, or were they offered? Did you have to come up here to take them?
Another offer at West Lauderdale. We had my calculus teacher who actually works here, who allowed me to do that.
Okay, excellent.
We have multiple dual enrollments at West Lauderdale.
You do.
Yes.
You do. Many of the high schools in the area offer dual enrollment classes, and I'm glad you were able to take advantage of that. They didn't have that when I went. Not saying I'm bitter, but I'm bitter.
I'm not going to say it helped me because I found out I didn't need those credits, but,
But still.
sharpened the sword of my, math skills
And now you're a math tutor in the Student Success
for
Center.
calculus.
There you go.
Favorite
Yes.
subject.
But now, you've come to MCC, and most semesters, I think both semesters, you've taken at least 18 hours, 18 credit hours?
More like 22.
Okay, okay. And what type of classes did you take your first semester here?
I took more math. I took a lot of English to get that through because English is not my favorite. I know.
You're not supposed to say that, but okay.
But yeah,
But you got your English Comp 1, English Comp 2
got that through
out
this
of the
year.
way. And,
Yeah.
okay.
Cal
Did you
1.
take any World Lit classes? Have you taken, or any Lit classes?
Not yet.
Will you have to?
I will have to.
Are you going to take them
Eventually. Yes, I will.
here? Okay.
That in Spanish. Whew.
Okay, okay. So how many semesters of Spanish will you have to have?
2
Just 2 semesters?
semesters. Spanish 1, Spanish 2.
Okay. And then you also need at least 2 literature classes.
Yes.
Because Caleb, when he finishes here, Caleb, you're going up to state,
Yes.
and you are going into astrophysics.
Astrophysics, there
Okay,
we
now
go.
what made you choose astrophysics, if you don't mind me asking?
Star Talk. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay, okay,
podcast.
which is great.
Pretty good.
It is a really good podcast.
Yes.
I've watched a
You
few of
have?
those. Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
I have, and I do like him a lot. He speaks very well, and he's very sciencey.
Yes, and he's a example that you can be old but still act like a kid. And that's the best thing about being a scientist. You can
Okay,
blow
that
stuff
you'll be
up.
able to be old and
Yes,
act like a kid.
and blow stuff up.
And that's what you hope to do?
Well, I mean, a rocket's a controlled explosion. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to work hopefully in the future in the rocket
Yes.
program?
NASA, SpaceX, CERN, Europe space program, hopefully, get to travel.
Would you be one of the people willing to go to Mars?
No doubt, first person.
So
I
if
love
they let
everybody
you-
here, but, that's a one-way thing.
It is a one-way
It's a
thing.
ticket, so chance of a life.
Now, you've also, while you've been here at MCC, you were very involved in Phi Theta Kappa.
I am.
Okay. And what benefit do you think Phi Theta Kappa has been for you, being a part of it? What have you learned?
Ooh, meeting new friends, that's really good. The officers and I have been made like close-knit, like a family now. But I guess most of them, we did go to West Florida together, so we already knew each other. And the leadership skills. This July we had to do state games. We had to take surveys, and that's a lot of stuff to do and a lot of paperwork, and you got to keep control of that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
And it's also beneficial financially when you go on to a four-year university.
$10,000 per semester for 2 years at MSU.
Per semester, per year?
Per year, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You're right.
I was about to
you're
say
right.
10,000 per year.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
I mean, per semester, that's one. But 10,000 per year, which is not a small chunk of change.
Let me backtrack that.
Okay.
I think I messed that up. 10,000 a year if you're president.
Okay.
8,000 per year if you're just a member. 9,000 if you're a member and an officer.
Okay. So the breaking news on the show today.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be the new president.
I am.
Congratulations.
So let's hope she doesn't watch this because she might kill me.
Okay. We won't let her watch this. Let the main advisor watch this.
We will keep it under wraps.
We will keep it definitely under wraps. Now, how many years will it take you to get finished with your astrophysics degree?
Let's see, 2 years here, and MSU could be between 10 and, as I'm told, possibly 14 years.
Okay. And how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you think you'll keep yourself motivated for that period of time?
The interest in the space sex, do
you want to get out and maybe work during the summers there?
Internships, hopefully, yeah. Some
Okay.
internships maybe at NASA or SpaceX, but ultimately I'm never going to change my major because I just love physics. I'm a physics nerd.
When did you first hear the podcast that put you on this pathway?
Let's see, it's 2021, so I'm going to say maybe 8 years ago.
Really? That long ago?
Oh yeah, I was a big nerd when I was a little kid. I just always watched the Science Channel, National Geographic. Yep. Didn't go out to parties a lot.
Not a bad thing.
Not a
It's
bad
not
thing, but
okay.
in college now, so you can.
That's true. Now, when you'll be finished here, you've got fall semester, spring semester,
Yes.
and then do you plan to go up and take classes at State next summer?
No, I'm going to enjoy my summer.
Okay, you're going to take the
Yes,
summer off and
our
relax.
friend group's going to be going on a trip, hopefully.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yes, I like to spend my summers relaxing before I get into the big
That's
school
one.
year.
I mean, yes, but sometimes that's not possible. Now, you were a tutor, and this is one of the reasons that I got him to do this, because you were a tutor in the Student Success Center here on
Yes.
campus. How's that been for you?
What, the tutoring?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I love helping people. That's like when I get done with my maybe 50 years when I get done with my astrophysics, I'm gonna go and teach.
Excellent. We need
Yes.
good teachers always.
High school, college, university, somewhere. Maybe get tenure, hopefully.
And rate your boss. At the Student Success Center. Do you think that your boss is,
I gotta
on
say-
a scale of 1 to 10?
Gotta say,
I'm
a
his boss.
12.
Listen, Caleb, I know you didn't want to do this, but I thank you for coming in today and doing this because I wanted someone to talk about being a student here. I appreciate
welcome.
you being here. And maybe when you finish your astrophysics degree,
I can come back.
you can come back and talk about it. Is that okay?
Yes, I would love to do that.
All right. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
And we are back with Mr. Jay Fritts. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
Couldn't be better. Well, you know. You know that
I
goes.
do know, yeah.
Now, you actually graduated from Meridian Community College.
Yes, sir, I
When
did.
did you graduate?
I graduated in 2018, so May of 2018.
Okay, so you came to us from West Lauderdale. Okay, and did you take any dual enrollment classes?
I did. So I took college algebra and college trig.
Okay.
But I didn't actually find out till I got here that I didn't need to take college algebra or college trig. So
Seems to be a running theme of today's program. But you were a tutor in the Student Success Center.
yes, sir. You were my boss.
And yes.
One of
and
the best bosses I've ever had. By the way.
ever. But I think maybe taking those classes might have assisted you.
Actually, yes. So it was good to kind of get that experience, right? And so in high school, taking college algebra and college trig, just kind of helped expose me to a lot of that course material. And so most of the people that we tutored in the Success Center were those people that needed help in algebra, like beginning, intermediate, all the way up to college. And then we had a few trigonometry students as well. So yeah, it definitely did help.
Now, how was the whole dual enrollment experience?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really kind of seamless,
Okay.
right? Mr. Caldwell, my math teacher, he was also a faculty
He
member
was,
here at
yes.
the time. And, he did a really good job as far as teaching us the material, obviously, but then also kind of allowing us to see what it's like to be a student in like a college environment as well. And I think that's also something that really helped us out a lot.
Do you think that more students should take advantage of that?
I do.
They didn't, as I was saying in the last segment, they didn't have it when I was there. They did not have this when I was there, or I would have taken advantage of it.
Yeah, and I think more students should. And I think it's one of those things that are in high school when they're a little bit intimidated by the fact that it's like, oh, this is a college course. But I think if you have the opportunity, it's a really good way for you to kind of dip your toe in the water into the college environment without completely just, being thrown in there your freshman year.
Did you ever think of not coming to Meridian Community?
Oh, yes, no, my 100%. It's a funny
Fought it tooth and nail.
Oh, 100%. So my parents, like right after senior year, my main goal was to go straight to the University of Mississippi. I was so gung-ho on leaving just to get out of the house,
Sure.
honestly. But when me and my parents talked about it, I made the decision, and when I say I made the decision, my parents made the decision, that I would go.
Here's the money for school.
Yep.
Here's the money for, okay.
Exactly. And so they said that that you're going to go to MCC. And I was really, really, really just hesitant at the time. But hindsight is 20/20, and it ended up being, if not the best decision of my life. So.
Really, was MCC what you thought it would be? Was coming here what you thought it would be?
It's kind of a hard question for me to answer because I don't really know what I was expecting kind of entering as a freshman. But I will say this, it did thoroughly surprise me as much as how much I enjoyed my experience here and just how much I really enjoyed the faculty here. And I met some of my best friends here and still got a great education.
Now, didn't you did something for Phi Theta Kappa and it lasted an extra amount of time.
Yes, sir.
But it was beneficial to you.
It was. So, the normal kind of transfer kind of journey for most students that come here is, you do 2 years, get all your prereqs, and then you go off straight to a 4-year university. Well, I decided to stay here actually another year because I ran for, like you said, an international officer Phi Theta Kappa position. And so that last year, what I tell people, the easiest way for me to describe it is that it was kind of like an off year. So it wasn't really focused on school. I took classes like yoga and swimming. And
Okay.
by the way, side note, I thoroughly enjoyed yoga. So if you're considering taking it, you definitely should.
Okay.
But no, that last year,
It was my main job was just trying to, kind of uphold my responsibilities as an international officer. So I did a lot of traveling. I served as keynote speakers at a lot of these different conventions all across the country. And then, there's this really big convention that we do at the end of the year. And so, being able to host that and
Did you learn a lot?
I did. I can't say I was like the same person before, like going in, and kind of like MCC, I don't really know what I was expecting, but after that year, no, I definitely changed in a lot of ways.
Now you finished here and you completed your bachelor's degree at Ole Miss.
Yes, sir. Hotty toddy.
And then now you are waiting to to get into dental school.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So my dream is to look in people's mouths for the rest of my life.
What drew you to that? Now I remember reading some of the stuff you've written to to send to dental schools to say this is why I want to do this.
Yeah,
but-
so this is, I always tell this story when people ask me. So actually when I was in kindergarten, if you guys can't tell, I'm Asian, okay, I'm South Korean.
What?
For those of you who don't know. But I love telling this story because it kind of shows how I started on like the health path. And so both my parents are healthcare providers. But I remember in kindergarten we had this project of what we wanted to do when we grew up, right? And at the time, I wanted to be like a builder. And I couldn't tell you why I couldn't build anything off a block of Legos, honestly. But at the time I wanted to be a builder, and I remember finishing this project, and I was like really proud of like how it turned out. I kind of went home and I like showed my parents. I'm like, look what I did in class, and I would never forget this. Like they looked me dead in the eye and they said, "It's like, oh, a builder. We think you would be a better doctor." And so you're in kindergarten. And I said, "Oh, okay, right."
Well, when they said you're going to go to MCC, that worked out well.
Exactly. And so they probably knew a little bit, more about this kind of, stuff as far as like careers and everything than I did because, I was 5. But it didn't take much convincing from them for me to kind of find my passion for the health field. And like I said, I kind of grew up in that environment my entire life.
And you've shadowed a lot. You've spent a lot of
have.
hours shadowing to see what kind of things they do.
Exactly. So I kind of knew for most of my adult life that I wanted to go into the health field. The question really was just determining like which path I wanted to take, because you could do so many things. You could go to, be a doctor, or maybe my dad's a physical therapist, and so I considered that for a while. Nursing, but dentistry was just kind of one of those things where I kind of stumbled upon like a little bit later in my academic career, and it really was to me the most kind of in line of what I felt like I really wanted in a career, which was really being able to interact with patients, build relationships with patients, and the 9 to 5 or the 8 to 5 job, kind of time frame is also pretty appealing.
There are some emergencies, but not a lot.
Exactly.
Okay.
But dentistry is where I felt like I had the most kind of sense of belonging.
Now, once you get in, how long will it take you to become a dentist?
That's a good question. So it kind of, like I said, it just kind of depends. So for general dentistry, once you get in, it's 4 years, right? And so they're kind of obviously teaching you how to be a dentist, teaching you how to do fillings, and they kind of, there's a lot of things you can kind of specialize in, and they take little tidbits of each of those and just kind of teach you a little bit about each of these different specialties.
See what you like.
Exactly, right? And so you have a lot of these tools for when you begin, going off into the workforce. Now, if you choose to further your education, that's when you can specialize into something more, more specific, right? So you have periodontistry that really focuses on the gums, or endodontistry that really does a lot of root canals, right? Orthodontistry.
So
people
your
who put
answer is
braces.
you don't know how long it's going to take.
It really depends,
Because
yeah.
it depends on what you're going to go into.
For me personally, my goal right now is just getting into dental
Get into
school.
then we'll go from there.
Exactly.
Well, listen, we've run out of time, but I want to thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for
and
having me.
because you were and you have been one of the best tutors we've had, and I've told
I
you this
appreciate
before.
that.
But so glad to know you, and so glad But I do want to have you back on when you become a dentist.
Oh, absolutely.
More than likely, I'll still be here. But I do want you to come back, okay?
Absolutely. Call me anytime. I'd love to come.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we are back with Mr. Jimmy Rigdon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Now, you are the coordinator and instructor for the truck driving program here.
That's correct, commercial
And
truck driving.
You've been doing it for?
About 16 years now.
Okay. And it's going well.
It's doing great. We keep full classes, so if you're interested in getting into commercial truck driving, you need to go ahead and do it now, because we usually are booked out for about 2 months.
Now, it's like you do 2 classes per semester, right? It's 8 weeks per, the program is 8 weeks,
Yes,
right?
we have 2 classes per semester, and the class is 8 weeks. It's Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
It's one-on-one. It's the instructor with 4 students, and we teach you, how to drive a commercial truck, the backing. When you get through in that 8 weeks, you can operate a tractor trailer, 18-wheeler.
And hopefully you will get your CDL license.
Yeah, at the completion of the class, you'll have your commercial driving license. We actually test you here at the college.
Okay.
We do all the testing here. And once you leave, before you leave, we have multiple companies that come to our location recruiting students to come to work for them.
I was just watching on the news, I think it was yesterday or day before, that they were talking about a possible gas shortage because they don't have enough truck drivers to deliver the gas.
That's correct. The American Truck Driving Association put a report out a couple weeks ago saying they need about 50,000 drivers.
Oh my.
In the United States. So there's a demand for truck drivers.
And you accept how many students in each? You said you have, that's an 8-week class, you run 2 classes, actually 4 classes per semester.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. It'll be 4 students per instructor, and we have 2 instructors, so that's 8 students for every 8 weeks.
Okay.
So it's 16 students in a semester.
Okay.
So it's real simple to get into class. You need a high school diploma or GED.
Okay.
Once you
Any other prerequisites? Do you have to take any other classes or anything?
No, nothing else.
Do they check your eyesight and
stuff
like that?
You'll have to pass a DO2 physical and a drug test
to
get into class. And once you get into class, it's a fun class.
Okay.
Everybody says they love the class. But the main thing that people need to know, when you leave that class, you're going to be making from $1,500 to $2,000 a week.
$1,500 to $2,000 per week.
Per week.
After an 8-week course.
After an 8-week course.
With no prereqs whatsoever.
We have students from 21 years old to in their late 60s that come through. The companies.
Male, female, does not matter?
No, females need to come on down there, because I was reading an article the other day, and it's 6% of the trucking industry is female, so we need to raise that number a little bit right there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good career to get in if you feel like you're in a dead-end job.
Okay.
It's if you are an independent person, and because that's what a truck driver is. They give you a load and you move from one area to the other.
Will financial aid cover
Yes,
the class?
they will.
Okay.
That's right.
So that 8-week class, the financial, if they qualify for financial aid, it's covered.
That's correct. What you'll do, you have 8 weeks with us, and then you'll go to work for a company, and you'll work 8 weeks with them to make it a full semester.
Okay. And they're paying you.
So you're an employee of that company.
Okay.
But they'll be paying you. You'll basically turning in timesheets to the college showing you're getting on-the-job training to make it a full semester.
What made you want to be a truck driver?
I always wanted to be a truck driver. You hear kids say they want to be doctors, firefighters, police officers. I always wanted to drive a truck.
How old
About
were you when you first started driving?
18 years old. I graduated high school and started driving the truck.
Wow. Did you get your CDL license?
When I started driving the truck, you just went down to the local courthouse and took a little short test and got your. That's how I started driving at 18 years old.
Okay.
But it's a good job. If you husband and wife teams, we have a lot of people that come through. Husband and wives are retired.
Really?
Because a lot of companies now have a sign-on bonus of $30,000. If you go to work for them, they'll pay the drivers $15,000 a piece to sign a contract saying they'll work for them for a year.
Wow.
So,
and you said that you literally have companies coming in waiting for these people to graduate.
Yes.
With jobs right there.
That's right. We've been in this class we're running right now. We've been in there for 4 weeks, and we've had about 7 or 8 companies actually come to our location and talk to our students.
Well, so I misspoke earlier because you're two term. I mean, you teach 2 8 weeks in the fall, 2 8 weeks in the spring, and then 1 8 weeks in the summer.
Correct.
So you're going all year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if someone is interested, how do they get in your class?
The first thing they need to do is call 601-485-5118, and whoever answers the telephone, Mr. Eric Griffin, he's an instructor, or myself.
Okay. So that's just come into your office, your area.
That's right.
Okay.
And we'll guide them through the steps of getting into the class.
Okay. I would wonder, because a lot of times, they have many things that are offered to single parents, that are here. I want, it seems like truck driving would be a great opportunity for, to earn money and not, not have to go through a huge, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Yes, it's a short-term class. You make great money.
Okay.
Great money.
It's okay.
I went blank there for a second.
I do it all the time.
But yeah, it's not what I consider a dead-end job.
Okay.
We've had students come through that's actually moved on into management for the trucking companies.
Okay.
With safety departments, managers, and so on like that right there.
Do you look at it differently now that you're a teacher? From when you were a truck driver, now you teach it. Has your perspective, or you look at the whole industry differently, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it's really, I think about the same.
Okay. I just think it's such a wonderful program. I'm so glad we have it here.
Yeah, it's great for the community. Mm-hmm. It's great for the trucking industry. Because we know, I can keep saying, 8 weeks, and you can be making $40,000 to $50,000 a year.
Very good.
So,
well, listen, I want to thank you for being here today, and I look forward to having you on again and talking about this again, because I think it's a great program. And as you say, I think you have waiting lists of people, waiting, so that is excellent. But if you need any information, they know to call you.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
We'll be right back.
With so much uncertainty in our world, we are thankful for the heart and determination of those who have followed their calling in healthcare. They work tirelessly on the front lines every day to make a true difference in our community. At Meridian Community College, we take pride in training these heroes and are grateful for their service in this time of great need. These Eagles found their wings at Meridian Community College.
On behalf of Matt Milner, our executive producer, and Josh Taylor, our media consultant, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we will see you next week.